We're almost there. Almost. Almost election day tomorrow. It's the 7th day of November, 9:01, but who is counting? And I'm CJ Nasello. It's our daily show. And a new different setup today. Trying things a little bit different, with tomorrow being election day. I figured, you know what? Why don't we just take it easy? Watch. Look at this. Not even going to be talking fast today. Getting some water. Why don't we just take it easy, talk about some things going on in the Riverbend, and really just kind of relax, because we've been through, the ringer. It's been a year and a half of campaign signs and ads and all of that. So with all the guests we had on Friday and everything else we've been doing, we decided, you know what, we're going to take it easy. We're going to settle down today. So if you want to call in, talk about anything on your mind, you can. 618-759-7469. That's 618-759-7469. Make sure you just let me know who you are, and we'll talk to you. Anything you want to talk about, fair game. And wanted to make sure you guys know that tomorrow, starting at 7:30, RiverBender.com will be bringing you live coverage of the midterms, 2022 midterms. I'll be hosting the show with all of us here at Riverbender. Really a lot of work being put into this one. My weekend was kind of filled with it. So I'll be on the stick. I'll be hosting the special coverage starting at 7:30. And then Dan Herkert, who's been a part of numerous campaigns at every level, will be joining us. And he has every bit of statistical data and analytic that you could want from the last previous elections. He'll help us with that. And with his commentary and analysis of his own is former Madison County Auditor Rick Fasten joins us, and he's going to be giving us his take too. Going to be an interesting night, and we're wanting to let you all know about it, because tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. we're still going to have our daily show. I got double duty. I'm telling you, it is going to be something. Going to be a little tiring for me this week. I think I might be able to get off early, actually, with it all going on. But tomorrow, 7:30, you can tune in. And for premium coverage of the 2022 midterms, we're going to cover everything locally, get some phone calls from the winners, and get some feedback from their campaigns. Plus, we're going to cover national, too. When I mean national, we'll talk the key races, the one out in Pennsylvania and Nevada and Arizona we'll be covering. Plus, we'll also be covering some of the national House races, along with some commentary for some of those politicians too. So we're getting a plethora. The big wigs that are at the national side of things, and the running, either a state or a Senate caucus or whatever, and we're going to go all the way down to locals. So it's going to be a great night. I encourage all of you guys to tune in. We're still going to take some texts on Thursday night, 618-759-7469. That's 618-759-7469. And just make sure you send us in what you want to talk about, or maybe you have a comment about a certain race. Dan and Rick will be the ones to kind of spearhead that, and I'll just kind of be holding the fort down. So wanted to make sure that, we got it out there to you guys, because let me tell you something. Before I even go into my weekend and into the news, my weekend was full of election. And I mean, it was just, getting the graphics ready and doing all this work and getting all the information you need. And it's like, man, why did I choose this? Could I have waited until January to do the show? But it was great. And then coming up this week on Friday, we're going to be having a very special episode of our daily show at the Alton VFW for Veterans Day. Really looking forward to that, and getting to see some of those guys, and really just get to hear their stories and celebrate our veterans who sacrifice so much to make sure that you and I can do things like this. So I want to make sure we got that over to you. It's 9:05, so let's take a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. This one's really ain't the Riverbend. This is the country, baby, in Chicago. The Powerball jackpot has officially set a new world record. Tonight's top prize now stands at a mind-blowing $1.9 billion. There you go. There's never been a jackpot this big, meaning tonight's draw is making history as the largest lottery jackpot of all time, although no one matched all six numbers drawn to win the historic jackpot on Saturday. 8 Illinois lottery players will be jumping for joy after winning 6- and 5-figure prizes. 3 lucky players matched 4 numbers in the Powerball, plus they added the game's Power Play feature to win $150,000 each. 5 players matched 4 numbers in the Powerball to win $50,000 each. and nearly 400,000 other prizes ranging from $150,000, to $4 were won in Saturday's Powerball drawing in Illinois. Every single Powerball win is also a win for retailers selling the tickets, as the retailer receives a selling bonus of 1% of the prize amount. The current Powerball run began on August 4th, and in that time, more than 1.6 million winning tickets have been sold, and over $15 million and prizes have been won by Illinois players. Winners have 1 year from the date of the winning draw to claim their prize. The Illinois Lottery encourages all lucky winners to write their name on the back of their ticket and to keep it in a safe place until they're ready to claim the prize. For Illinois residents who want to be a part of this historic draw, there are over 7,000 Illinois Lottery retailers across the state, so lottery players can conveniently pick up a Powerball ticket at their local store, or you can go online and log into the Illinois Lottery website or app to purchase a ticket online. Powerball drawings are held on every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 9:59 Central Standard Time in Edwardsville. After many years of playing at the East Dalton Ice Arena in both the Mississippi Valley and Mid-States Club Hockey Associations, the Edwardsville hockey team's new hope opened on Thursday night to rave reviews and positive feedback as the Tigers tied with CBC in the inaugural game at the RP Lumber Center 2-2. The arena is the MSCHA's first ever on-campus arena, located down from the Winston Brown Track and Field Center at the Edwardsville Tennis Center, and the facility is very much a state-of-the-art building that fans will very much enjoy, providing a great atmosphere for hockey and exciting times ahead for the Tigers players, coaches, and the fans. And the arena was privately financed with land donated by the Edwardsville Community Unit 7 District in the back of the school campus, which will officially be the run of the City of Edwardsville's Parks and Recreation Department. Sponsors made donations to help the construction of the building, which also contains a fitness center with an upper-level jogging track, a weight room, state-of-the-art locker rooms, and other facilities as part of the arena and other comforts for fans and participants. The Tigers will be playing almost every Thursday night at the arena, with their next game against division rival Kirkwood in an 8:30 p.m. start time. Also, in East St. Louis, the Illinois State Police is requesting the public's assistance in locating 36-year-old Jeremy Rickman of Maryville, Illinois. On August the 26th of this year, St. Clair County State's Attorney Office charged Rickman of Maryville with first-degree murder and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Attempts to locate Rickman thus far have been unsuccessful. Rickman was charged with the murder and the death of 30-year-old Damon Stewart of Cahokia Heights, which occurred on August the 13th of this year in the parking lot of the Ivy Ultra Lounge in the 900th block of St. Louis Avenue in East St. Louis. Rickman also has an outstanding federal warrant for motivation to revoke supervised release issued on August the 30th of 2022 by the United States Attorney's Office. Do not approach Rickman, as he should be considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with knowledge of the incident or his whereabouts are asked to contact Crime Stoppers by phone at 1-866-371-8477 or visit stlrcs.org. Witnesses can remain anonymous. In St. Louis County Police Department Crimes Against Persons detectives are currently investigating a fatal railroad accident involving a pedestrian struck in the 1400th block of Kiefer Road and near Ridge Road that resulted in the death of an adult male. On August the 6th of 2022 at 4:01 p.m., St. Louis County police officers from West County Precinct responded to a call for service for a railroad accident when a pedestrian struck in the 1400th block of Kiefer Creek Road near Ridge Road. Responding officers located an adult male lying on the ground. The victim was pronounced deceased at the scene, and this is an active and ongoing investigation. More information will be disseminated when it becomes available. Please contact the St. Louis County Police Department to speak with investigators if you have any information regarding this incident. To remain anonymous or potentially receive a reward, please contact Crime Stoppers for any other tips you might have. In Alton, A beloved community member, former fire official Mark Harris, was honored at a widely attended funeral event at Jet Funeral Home in Alton on Sunday afternoon. Visitation was held from 1 to 3 p.m. on Sunday at Gent Funeral Home in the chapel. The Gent Funeral Home is located at 2409 State Street in Alton. Funeral services immediately followed. A fire department walkthrough was conducted at 2:15 Sunday, led by active and retired members of the Alton Fire Department, with surrounding fire departments following in honor of Deputy Chief Harris. Harris was 61 when he died on Tuesday at Alton Memorial Hospital. He was married to his wife, Connie. A dedicated member of the Alton Fire Department, Mark began his career on April 17th of 1991 and quickly advanced through the ranks, becoming an engineer. On January 4th of 1995, Mark advanced to the captain position. On May the 20th of the year 2000, assistant chief on a December 4th, 2005, deputy chief in May 28th, 2009. He was a battalion chief in 2013 and deputy chief again on September the 1st, 2013. He finally ended his career with the department on May the 5th of 2018. Right now, for your weather forecast, it feels like 52 degrees. High today going to be 62, a low of 44 degrees, wind stuck at 12 miles an hour, and 41% humidity. Right now, it's 9:12 in the heart of the Riverbend on the 7th day of November. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Our daily show rolls on right after this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you like to get out and go with a friend riding shotgun, the Z-Force line of sports side-by-sides are the perfect machines for you. Whether exploring the backcountry or racing down the trails, these beasts flat out give you more without having to pay for more. Life's too short to stay home.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Debbie Ming Mendoza has worked for 10 years to ensure and maintain the reputation of Madison County's election process as highest in the state. Debbie was able to reduce costs by eliminating electronic voting and implementing an efficient paper-based process. Debbie has proven that Madison County continues to have elections that are free and fair. Join me in voting for Debbie Ming Mendoza for Madison County Clerk and Recorder on November 8th.
Cool 9:15, right back here. It's our daily show. CJ Nasello here with you. And you know, one thing I wanted to kind of talk about is the first thing Illinois voters seeing on their ballots this election is a proposal to add the Illinois Workers' Rights Amendment to the Illinois Constitution. But what does it mean? What would it do? And who would it affect? Well, RiverBender.com has a great article online I encourage you all to check out from Dalton Brown, who did a great job. And I want to share some of it with you. The proposed amendment would add a new section to the Bill of Rights article of the Illinois Constitution that would guarantee workers the fundamental right to organize and to bargain collectively and to negotiate wages, hours, and working conditions to promote the economic welfare and safety at work. The new amendment would also prohibit from being passed any new law that interferes with, negates, or diminishes the rights of an employee to organize and bargain collectively over their wages, hours, and other terms and conditions of employment and safety in the workplace. At the general election to be held on tomorrow, November 8th, you will be called upon to decide whether the proposed amendment should become a part of Illinois. Well, to collectively bargain over wages, hours, and more is also known as unionizing. Essentially, your support of this amendment depends on your support for workers' rights to join and form unions. If you think every worker in Illinois should have the right to unionize and the right should be made part of the Illinois Constitution, then you would vote yes, simply, in the support of the amendment. If you don't believe every worker in Illinois should have the right to unionize, you would vote no. The rest of the amendment essentially stops Illinois lawmakers from passing any laws in the future that would take these rights away from Illinois workers, also known as right to work laws. And who does it affect? The rights would apply to every worker in Illinois, including both private and public sector employees, meaning meaning both non-government and government workers would be included in that. That would include all state government employees, not just elected officials, but police officers, firefighters, teachers, and more. Labor unions across Illinois have expressed support of the amendment. Critics of the amendment saying giving collective bargaining power to government employees could allow property taxes to rise to support any wage increase they negotiate. There are two ways the amendment could pass. If 3/5, that means 60% of all voters who vote on the amendment, meaning they do not leave the section of their ballot blank, vote yes. If a simple majority of over 50% of all voters, including those who left the amendment section of their ballot blank, or vote yes. If passed, the measure would be adopted within 20 days of the election. Illinois would not be the first state to make workers' rights part of its constitution. If the amendment passed currently, 3 other states, Missouri, New York, Hawaii, have enshrined employees' bargaining rights into their constitutions in some form. The full text of the proposed amendment is available on the General Assembly's website, and that link can be found directly on RiverBender.com. But a really great topic because, listen, and this is bad. This is really bad. You're going to go, oh, really, CJ, at 9:18 on the 7th day of November, you're going to hit us with this? Listen, I was in Missouri for a long time, and driving back and forth, and I would always see these workers' rights things. I didn't really understand the law, but after I read Dalton's article on it and read the piece and then went back and read the legislation again, it made a lot more sense. So I highly encourage you all that really are having struggles with that, because I've had text questions come in about this, and really a great conversation. How do you guys feel about it on the text line? 618-759-7469. Let me know how you feel about it. Are you in favor of this? Are you not in favor of it? Well, we only have one more day to argue about it, so we're giving it to you today. 618-759-7469. And while I have you, I wanted to make sure I got you guys aware of this. This is another thing. I got to tell you a story before I could even go into this darn thing. So I on Saturday night, I didn't do anything. I was really boring this weekend. With me just, starting to find my footing here at Riverbender and getting all this stuff done, I've been really trying to be good. I haven't gone out really. I'm kind of been a hermit the last month, and that's normally not like me. And so I decided, let's get some work done and let's just, power through all this. And I'm trying not to laugh telling this story. Well, I'm, getting all this work done for election night. And by the way, guys, please tune in tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. You're going to really have a great taste of everything local for your election. And, we're really starting to do some neat stuff here. I mean, Riverbender's always been top of the line, but really starting to add some more video pieces and really starting to grow this. I think you'll be surprised and very flattered tomorrow with the work we're doing, and great people involved in it too. But, so I'm getting all this election stuff done. I don't go out. I decide, you know what? You're just getting your first, first couple of checks in you, just save it a little bit because you're starting to, look at, doing some other stuff, and just stay home, okay? Just stay home. So I stay home. Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I made the wrong call. Okay, so I went over to my aunt's house because for some reason my internet has just gotten really bad. I don't know if you guys have AT&T, but for some reason, like, I love AT&T, but now my internet is like a crawl. Like, dial-up would be an improvement at this point in time. So with all this video stuff, I go to my aunt's house and use her internet and borrow it to get all these videos rendered, downloaded, and everything else that you need for the show, broadcast tomorrow at 7:30. And, about I wouldn't even say that, about 12:45 rolls around and in the morning, and I go, well, I'm going to go home. I got enough work done today. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, go home. Well, there's, how you go home and there's a hideaway always for a key if you need to get inside. We all have one of those. I'm not going to tell you where mine is, obviously, but there's a hideaway. Well, I get home about 12:50 or 12:55 because it doesn't take too long, and I get up there and I walk to the door. I can't find the darn hideaway. I am looking everywhere, and I haven't been, mind you, have not been drinking, have not been doing anything foolish. I'm just wanting to go to bed. So I'm looking around going, what the heck am I going to do? Where is this hideaway? Well, we found it the next day. Anyway, so I'm on my hands and knees at 12:30 or 12:55 in the morning with cars coming down my neighborhood looking at me, and I'm going, the cops are definitely on the way. They're thinking I'm breaking into this house. It's my house. It's just going to be a nightmare. So I'm looking around, and my phone dies. Great. I don't have a flashlight. My phone's dead. What am I going to do? Well, let me tell you. So I sit in my car, and I don't have the phone charger. I just have the USB cord, so we all know it takes like 10 times longer for your phone to charge just with that. So I plug it in, and I'm like, well, I better just sit here and wait. Half hour goes by, 40 minutes goes by, and my phone's up to 6%. All right, might as well try it. So I all of a sudden get out of the car and I get my light out and I start looking. I'm on my hands and knees again. Now, mind you, it's about 1:40 in the morning and still nothing. Cannot find this thing anywhere, okay? So I'm on my hands and knees. I look like I've been drinking all night because my hair's all wild because I've been on the ground. I have mud all over me trying to find where this hideaway could be in my, front yard. By the way, it took me until the next morning to figure out where it was. I can't tell you where it is now, but let's just tell you, it was a nightmare. So I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And I'm like, well, it's, hold on, I got my headphone cord caught. It's, 10:30, or sorry, it's, about 2:30 in the morning. What can you do? And decide, might as well go check on Grandma. She's right down the road in Adrian. So I get on my cardio walk because it's beautiful outside, and I figured, you know what? No one's going to be on the road. Why don't you just go for a nice walk? That sounds good, a nice walk. About a 2-mile walk over to Adrian. Let me tell you something. I got shown up by a buck, okay? And that's not that's not at the start of a punchline. That's a real thing. I'm leaving my my car, and I'm starting to walk up the road and head over to Adrian. And all of a sudden, this massive, and I mean huge buck, I'm talking at least 9 points, is just staring me down. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of deer beating the crap out of people. It was going to happen to me. It terrified me. So I'm like, well, I guess I got to go the long way. So I go the long way. Then, the only good part of this walk, by the way, guys, is I saw a shooting star and got to make a wish. Still hasn't come true, but I'm still waiting. I got a rain check on that shooting star. So anyway, I get to my grandma's house. 2:45, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, well, what the hell do I do now, right? So I'm looking around, and I go, well, do I wake her up? I don't want to scare her, so I, give her a little nudge, say, hey, Grandma, I'm here. She doesn't see me. I wake up to the sound of her screaming at 5 o'clock in the morning because she thought I was some burglar that just broke in and fell asleep on her couch. It was hilarious. Anyway, I'm telling you this because it all started because of this daylight savings thing. Long story short, this is a daylight savings story. Anyway, so I didn't realize daylight savings came, and all of a sudden my phone turns back on that night, and I go, it was just 12:45. There's no way it's still 12:45. I was so confused. I forgot it was daylight savings time, but while I have you, with daylight savings time, starting this week, State Senator Christopher Belt and State Senator Chris Tharp are reminding Metro East families to also check and change their smoke detector and batteries as needed. While we, there we go. Now I can hear myself. While we update our clocks to fall back in daylight savings, also serves as an important reminder to make sure your smoke detectors are working, said Senator Belt to Swansea. This is a helpful habit to ensure your household is safe. If you find an alarm that is not working or expired, replace the alarm immediately with a new 10-year sealed battery alarm. It's also a great time to review your family's fire escape plan. And between the years of 2014 and 2018, the National Fire Protection Association reported that almost 3 out of every 5 home fire deaths in the United States resulted from fires in homes with no smoke alarms or no working smoke alarms. The chances of dying in a home fire was reduced to 55% in homes when working smoke alarms were present. Ensuring your family's smoke alarm is working is an inexpensive way to prioritize your household safety in the event of a fire, said Senator Tharp of Bethalto. Maintaining the alarm is a simple way to help keep your family members and pets safe from harm. For more information about fire safety, visit the Illinois Fire Safety Alliance website. That link is provided to you on RiverBender.com. That took a lot to get out of me today, but that's okay. It's 9:27. I want to tell you guys that if you haven't signed up for the daily email, it's called Around the Riverbend. Where have you been? I mean, seriously, hate to rhyme and, be all cute and coy at 9:27, but I just got to be serious with you. RiverBender.com really is the greatest source for local news. Even when I was in St. Louis, it's so funny. When I was doing the night show with Ray Hartman, and running his boards, and I'd go on the air and do some work with him on the air, and I'd have to find news stories, and Ray would ask me, he goes, what's the best website to find this information? And even before I wanted to work here or started working here, or even thought about coming back over across the river, I used RiverBender.com. It's always accurate. When you use a story from RiverBender, you start talking about one of their stories, you're never going to get in trouble for something being wrong. They're always up to date. They're getting the factual information in real time for you. Dan Brannon, Bradley, Dalton, that whole team that we have here of our great writers really does great work, and you can get all of their work, all of the things that are happening in the Riverbend up to the minute on the daily email update, and that way you guys can find out, firsthand, right when you wake up, everything you need to know when you start your day. Whether or not there's a road closure, how your best friend at work sports team did, or son's sports team did. All that information matters, whether it's events going on, big news stories, political, state level, all of it is in the daily email update. There's over 50,000 people, by the way, that are using, I have a sheet right here. Let me just pull this up for you. There's almost 60,000 daily update subscribers, so why aren't you one of them? I mean, there's a reason that all these people are using it. It's fantastic, and like I said, guys, I really mean that. Even before I worked here, before I thought about working here, RiverBender.com was the place to go for all accurate and local news, and not just news that's from some wire somewhere up in Springfield or some national news conglomerate. These are real writers making great stories with lifestyle tips and everything else in between. You can get that too with your daily dose of local on the daily email update on RiverBender.com. Join one of the 60,000 people that are already signed up, and you could be up to date and in the know, as my buddy Ray Hartman would say, with the daily email update. So while I have you, I wanted to tell you about that. It's 9:29. We're going to take a quick break. Luis Noya gives us a look at sports. The Blues, we're in trouble. We'll hear all about it after this.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen, as you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit the trails, rocks, and sand dunes. CF Moto. Experience more together.
Judge Ryan Jumper was recommended and highly rated in the most recent poll conducted by the Illinois State Bar Association. Ryan Jumper is a supporter of law enforcement and an advocate for the Constitution. Join me in voting for Judge Ryan Jumper on Tuesday, November 8th on the back of the ballot.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet. I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trapped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that's perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Oh, it's 9:32 in the heart of the Riverbend. It's our daily show. CJ Nacello here with you. We're awaiting Luis Noya joining us here in a few seconds to talk about, well, the Blues having a disastrous run of things. And while I have you, though, I wanted to share this with you, a really cool thing that I was talking about with my aunt the other night, and I wanted to share with you guys, and that's you better catch the moon's disappearing act Tuesday. There won't be another one like it for 3 years. The total lunar eclipse will be visible through. I was in the middle of a story, Luis. It's okay. How do you feel about lunar eclipses, Luis? Are they better than the Blues losing?
Yeah, in that regard, because it's exciting.
No kidding. Luis Noya is our daily show sports correspondent joining us now. Luis, man, I just got to get the elephant out of the room right off the bat. What are going on with the Blue Notes?
Can we say they're just this bad?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. We are not good. I mean, we are just like what happens when you think you have like a sense of hockey and you play the video game and draft all the great players and then you have a bad team. We don't have all the greatest players, but our team's still bad.
Yeah, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting close. Again, when's that cutoff line? Again, then that's the cutoff line that Doug Armstrong is looking at. Can we go and say in 4 weeks, December, basically, if the team is struggling this bad or is still, they're still not getting out of the funk, then let's thank for Bedard. But the team played, again, there was some glimmers of hopes that last game. That first period was great, but then all crashed down again. It's the second period. They have the second period scary, basically. I don't know. They're possessed or something.
Well,
and the way they're doing it, because it's again, if you guys see the games, it's very simple. You don't have to know a lot of hockey. In every sport, if you turn over the ball, in every stick and ball sport, if you turn over the ball, it's going to be good.
Well, no, and what the kind of thing that kind of astonishes me, it not really astonishes, that's not the right word, that just kind of surprises me, is the fact that, Berube's never been one to kind of comment on things. I mean, he's very quiet. I mean, now he's starting to let the cat out of the bag a little bit on his emotional side.
Well, yes, again, the one time we saw this from Berube was whenever he got announced, the new coach of the Blues, whenever Blues fired Mike Yeo in 2019, and we're rapidly approaching that anniversary, actually. That was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first couple games, he was voicing his opinions. He was his frustrations, but always with the same mentality that the team will get better. To what extent, we didn't know at the time, but it happened to be a Stanley Cup team.
Right.
And this team still is recovering from a lot of changes, and the main change is they're still figuring out that first line, because again, that first line last year had Perron, and he had a career year.
Right. Without a doubt.
And now he's gone. Now they're trying to see who's going to be that Perron, because unlucky for the Blues, Ryan O'Reilly matched up well with Perron. They did, and they're trying to find that next partner for Ryan O'Reilly.
It's to me, like I said, I'm just dumbfounded. I was not in any way going into this season thinking we were going to have like a dud year. I thought we were going to be pretty competitive. But you know, I guess I'm with you. We might as well give them a couple. I mean, there's only 8 months of playoff hockey, so we got some time. You know,
Yeah, the regular season ends in mid-April,
Right.
so there's a lot of hockey to be played.
Now, if it's like this in January, then my tone will very much so change. But
See, not only for you, but say for everybody that will be covering the team. And the only tone that's changed is that everybody was beating the drum. This team will not be good in 2019 whenever it hit January, and then the miracle happened. So yes,
right.
But it was a miracle.
Let me ask you about this to kind of change gears here. I know that you got you're got some stuff to get to today. I wanted to ask you this. This amazes me. How does Eli Drinkowitz get a contract extension? I was not expecting it. I thought they were just going to say, "Hey, man, you know, after the deal's done, you know, we've run our course. See ya. Thank you for all you've done, and best of luck." But what's this say for the coaching staff at Mizzou, or what's it say for their vision? Do they have that much faith in Drinkowitz?
For 2 more years, yeah. Again, he got an extension that runs through 2027. Yeah, it comes with a raise. I'm just waiting to see if we ever find out what's the buyout number is, because all that buyout number, it's the key number for coaches to be fired. Example, if Texas A&M fires Jimbo Fisher today, Texas A&M has to pay Jimbo Fisher, because they fired him, $80 million.
Oh God. Oh God. I want to be a college football coach. I mean, we
chose the wrong profession.
I'm telling you, I think we did. But you know, it's just amazing. I mean, and then Mizzou obviously falling short on Saturday. Kind of a couple of different plays in that game. What's your take on the game?
Mizzou found another way to lose a heartbreaker against Kentucky.
Yep.
They had the game. They had the stance. Again, if you look at the numbers, it wasn't that punt play, because, again, like Eli said it after the game, we weren't good at third downs. We just weren't. But that play right there, whenever Kentucky's out to punt, the snap is just widely missed by the punter. Punter recovers. I didn't know a couple of things with that play. I didn't know, like, the quarterbacks, the punter has a tackle box. So there's a radius around the field that the punter is considered a punter. And there's a lot of benefits for the punter to be considered a punter, because you cannot get ran into, you cannot get tackled, you cannot get smelled at, basically, by the defenders. They have to let you. Right?
Right.
But we didn't know that extended into infinity and beyond when it goes still in muff punt. So kudos for the punter for Kentucky, that in the process got injured, had the presence of mind, like in the 4 or 3 yard line, grabs the football and punts it away. The Mizzou defender didn't know he couldn't tackle the guy, because he thought, well, it's a live ball. Everybody's fair game.
Right.
So, for Mizzou fans, the letter of the law was correct. The officials made the correct move, the correct call. But is it the right rule?
Right.
That's the question all the Sioux fans are asking. And some people in college football, will the rule be changed? Probably not, because it happened in Mizzou versus Kentucky. Is that happened in Alabama, LSU, or Tennessee, Georgia, and decided that those games? Well, then it would be a different story.
Right. Well, to me, man, I mean, it's a tale of two teams, you know? It's like, that's what's so upsetting watching Mizzou play, because it's like, man, for a couple of quarters, you know, most games, I mean, they're in the thick of it. They're competitive. They're playing well. And then it's like they play not to lose, or they just fall apart somewhere. It's actually just kind of sad.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The Kentucky game, it should have been a win.
Right.
The Auburn game should have been a win. That's 2 wins. That already gets you to 6 wins. The Georgia game should have been a win. Should have been a win. Because they play, like you say, they play not to lose mentality in the fourth quarter, and they got burned by the number 1 team in the country at that time. That should be the number 1 ranked team at the country again by whenever, because they closed Tennessee on Saturday.
Right. Well, and while I have you too, I mean, what did you get a chance to watch the Illinois game this weekend?
I didn't, because I was more plugged in to the Alabama LSU game, but I watched the highlights. What an upset, man.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Again, good for Michigan State for shocking the world. And that's the other thing with the Illinois people, was you play the schedule that you get handed, that you create. It was an easy schedule.
Yep.
But well, Michigan State, it's coming off a bad emotional loss against Michigan, that there was a fight in the tunnels after the game.
Right.
And and just Michigan State was just played better. It just played better, and maybe it's a wake-up call to Illinois. They can still, they still control their destiny. They can still be in the Big Ten championship game, but there's no room for error right now.
Well, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. They're in the driver's seat as far as I'm concerned. I think you're onto something. Maybe they got a little bit cocky, this week, because they thought, we'll be just fine. We'll take care of this. And they didn't. It's really an interesting thing. But, man, I got to ask you, what'd you think about Diaz over with the Mets getting one of the largest, if not the largest contract ever as a closer? What, $102 or $120 million for what, 3 or 4 years?
5 years.
5 years. So that comes out to $17 million, I think, a year.
Personally, I'll say this. I like it when players get paid no matter what's the production. Diaz just had a career year with the Mets. So his value went up. And the only team that would have paid him that was the Mets, because Steve Cohen he spends his money very frugally.
Right.
And good for him, good for his family, but it's one of those contracts that is like for a reliever, right? The Cardinals don't spend on relievers for a reason, because the contract doesn't go, the value of the contract devalues very fast.
Right.
Like I told you yesterday when we talked yesterday, it's like the Matt Holliday contract was, in looking back, the value was still there, and then the last 2 or 3 years he devalued, but it could have been worse. It could have been a 8-year contract, 10-year contract. Then after year 5, Holliday would have been start to slump and whatever, and just for time saying it's time to go.
Right.
So the Holliday contract was just a good sports contract. Both sides won, in my opinion.
Oh, without a doubt.
One, with the relievers, 5 years, okay, maybe next year he still produces to the extent that he can, but what's that second year? That second year might be the start of a downfall.
I just don't see this working out for the Mets. It's kind of what I was leading into. I mean, good for them. Go for it. If the fans love it, they like to see the guy with the plastic trumpet or whatever. Good. But it's like, man, that's not really. To me, it's just a dangerous contract. It's just a dangerous one if you're a team.
It is. It's very dangerous, and again, business-wise, well, then let's see if this works. And whenever you're in a business mentality to see if this works, half the time it doesn't.
Right. You're right.
Again, Edwin Diaz hasn't been injured a lot, so that's good. But he's a reliever that throws at 100 miles per hour. We saw it with Jordan Hicks. We're seeing it with Jordan Hicks. That first injury might be the first of many other injuries.
Right, without a doubt. And hey, we only got about a minute or two left, so let me ask you this while I can, because I wanted to get your take. Matt Holliday coming back as a bench coach. How do you feel about it? How's the sports world over across the river feel about it? Any talking heads today saying praise?
I love it. I personally love it. He has a good relationship with Mo. He has a good relationship with Oli Marmol. He was mulling over this for a couple of years ago, and he just decided the time wasn't right. And, of course, the time wasn't right because he was a coach in Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an assistant coach. But, again, he had his son that was rising through the prospect list, his family. So I got it at that point. Yeah, if you can't go and enjoy your family. Now it's a little bit easier for him. Again, he still has his other son and his daughters, but yeah, I think at the time it's right because the people who's running the team are right for him too, and they will not let him do a lot of crazy stuff, like in terms of rookie mistakes with bench coach or whatever. Again, a bench coach, he's gonna be the right hand man for Oli Marmol, and I see that well because like he said, I think he talked to Danny Mack yesterday in his podcast, and he said like, this is a good opportunity to see if I want to do this professionally going forward, like not only being a bench coach but being a manager one day.
Right. Right, and I'm excited for it, man. I really am. And hey, Luis, what are you looking at this week? What are you what are you steering us to watch? What's looking good for you?
Okay, before I do that, I have to do some shout outs here before I do what's in tap for the week. SLU women's soccer.
Oh,
18 games in a row and a 5-beat. They're dominant. They won against Dayton 4-0 yesterday at Herman Stadium in the 8th championship. Wow. And they haven't allowed a goal in 9 games.
Oh, those are video game numbers.
Their defense is sick.
That is a video game number.
Yeah.
I love it.
I watched that interview a couple of the players. They're excited. They have their selection show. They're expecting a high number in the NCAA tournament for soccer. So there's that. Now, tonight, college basketball starts nationwide. That's great.
Yes,
More
it is.
basketball. I like it. Mizzou plays. Illinois plays. SLU plays. I'll be at Chaffetz Arena. SLU plays Murray State. Murray State right now is in the Missouri Valley Conference. That's a new team in the conference for the Missouri Valley. So good for them. For the conference, I think it's a good program. The Blues play tonight too at Boston. They get tougher and tougher. They play Boston tonight at the Garden, and then they play the Philadelphia Flyers on Tuesday night. So a East Coast doubleheader, East Coast back-to-back, and both teams are playing better than the Blues, obviously.
Well,
by a mile.
Right. Well, Luis, in Boston, there's 2 different pronunciations. There's khakis, which people wear to golf or whatever the hell, or there's khakis. Hand me the khakis, That's a good joke. Okay. All right. No. All right.
It's on point. I had a guy in January. I was in Logan Airport, and I was tired, whatever, and he's like, "Hey, sir," with a Boston accent, "your fly is down." I didn't understand him. Hello. Thank you.
Luis Noya is our sports correspondent. You end on a good note. We'll take it at that. 9:50. Luis, thank you for your time.
You're welcome, CJ.
We'll be back to wrap up the 9 o'clock hour after this in downtown Alton.
I'm Ebony Huddleston, and I'm asking for your vote on November 8th for Madison County Circuit Court Judge. After graduating as valedictorian of Alton High School and receiving the Alton Godfrey Rotary Club's first Student of the Year award, I continue to serve this community on boards of directors such as Alton Memorial Hospital, Land of Lincoln Legal Aid, and Impact CIL. For almost 17 years as an attorney in Madison County, I've worked tirelessly to ensure that all voices are heard and that everyone has a fair chance in our legal system. Because I believe that our legal system should be fair and just for everyone, I will work to make that a reality when elected judge. Please vote for me on November 8th.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. Got Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Riverbender Radio has 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And the River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentive that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Judge Ryan Jumper was recommended and highly rated in the most recent poll conducted by the Illinois State Bar Association. Ryan Jumper is a supporter of law enforcement and an advocate for the Constitution. Join me in voting for Judge Ryan Jumper on Tuesday, November 8th on the back of the ballot.
.953 in the heart of the Riverbend from the AP Associated Press. You better catch the moon's disappearing act on Tuesday. There won't be another like it for 3 years. This is the story I was going to get to before Luis called in, but he is very busy with the Blues and doing all the sports things for us right here in the 314 in the Metro East, tying us all together, you know, because I've always made the argument, and actually the one the one that made it was too that Ray Hartman made it to me where, you know, when you go out of town, sometimes you say you're from St. Louis just to make the location, you know, a little bit easier on people. So I always love to talk St. Louis sports because the Cardinals are a part of our lives just as much as they are with the St. Louis folks and the Blues and all of that and in between too. So wanted to make sure that we always get those in for everybody. Luis Noya is in the clubhouse for the St. Louis Cardinals throughout the entirety of the regular season and the postseason. Plus, he's also in the Blues locker room and the Billikens locker room and everything else in between St. Louis related Luis does. But whenever he called in, I was telling you the story and wanted to continue it. The total lunar eclipse will be visible throughout North America in the pre-dawn hours, the farthest west, the better, and across Asia, Australia, and the rest of the Pacific after sunset. And as an extra treat, Uranus will be visible. I'm so a child. Will be visible just a finger's width above the moon, resembling a bright star. And totality will last an hour and a half from 5:16 in the morning to 6:41 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be 4:15 to 5:41 our time as Earth passes directly between the Earth and the Sun, known as the blood moon. It will appear a reddish orange from the light of the Earth's sunset and sunrises, and at the peak of the eclipse, the moon will be 242,000 miles away from us, according to NASA scientists. Binoculars and telescopes will enhance viewing provided the skies are clear. And I don't think they're going to be, but we'll find out. South America will get a glimpse of Tuesday's lunar eclipse, weather permitting, striking out altogether. Africa, the Middle East, and most of Europe will have to wait until 2025. Among those providing a live stream of Tuesday's lunar extravaganza, Griffin Observatory in Los Angeles and the Italian-based Virtual Telescope Project will be broadcasting it for you guys to watch if it's too cloudy here. It's the second total lunar eclipse this year. The first was in May. The next one won't be until 2025. Plenty of partial lunar eclipses will be available in the meantime, and the Associated Press Health and Science Department received support and supports us and wanted to make sure we give them the credit. But I was talking about this. Okay, I have the worst luck when it comes to like once-in-a-lifetime debacles or extravaganzas or whatever you want to call them. Have the worst time, and I mean the worst time ever. And it's a really amazing thing. In all seriousness, I mean, it's really just incredible. I'll stay up all night if I know something like this is coming because I love meteor showers. I love the shooting star stuff, the eclipses. I think they're all great, and I want to watch them. And every time I stay up or I, even go to bed a little bit earlier just to wake up a little bit earlier to see it, if it's at 4 o'clock in the morning or 4:30, 4:45, might take a nap in between. I'll get up and it's a downpour or it's a thunderstorm or it's cloud cover and you can't see a darn thing. I think there should be some type of like insurance policy given out. That way, if you wait all night for this stupid eclipse and you get clouds, they should give you like $50 for your pain and suffering. I think NASA could at least do that for us. But you know what? If NASA won't do it, there's only one guy to call to see if they could do it in litigation. That's Sean Lentz at the Lentz Law Firm. 2600 Edward Street, right across from Centerstone. So when you work with Sean, you're working with your community, and there ain't nothing better than that. Listen, Sean's the best, okay? You've gotten to know my personality the last couple of months, right? You've gotten to kind of know me. For all of you who didn't know me, and you're starting to realize that I like to have fun, and I like to just be, just be me. I think that's the best part of things. And that's why I get along with Sean so well, because he's not going to give you a bunch of legal jargon you can't understand. He's going to talk to you like a normal person, because guess what? Sean's a normal, down-to-earth guy that has years of results, years of experience, and tons of great results to add on top of it. Now, he mostly covers personal injury, but he does some criminal matter work too. I'm talking traffic tickets, some DUIs. So if I mention some litigation that maybe is not what you needed or you're needing something additional, still call this number. Ready? I'm giving you the number now. 618-465-8000. 618-465-8000 is the number to the Lentz Law Firm. You'll get Terry on the phone and just ask Sean if he knows somebody that specializes in what you're looking for, if he doesn't do it, because I have seen his contact book in action. I've seen him find lawyers for people in 5 minutes time and less, and he can do the same for you. He's that great of a guy. So I am encouraging you all, if you have litigation, those times are tough, and you need a man like Sean to help you power through it. Listen, you want to be proactive instead of reactive when these situations occur, and the way you do that is by saving Sean's number now, 618-465-8000, 618-465-8000. Whether your personal injury need is negligence, medical malpractice, a trucking case, motorcycle accidents, car accidents, dog bites, you name it, Sean has got you covered. And I'm telling you, he is the best to work with. All I ask you is that when you call 618-465-8000, 618-465-8000, that when you talk to Terry, who works his front desk, you say that CJ sent you their way. And while I have you, too, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour is an extended conversation with you. Give me a call, 618-46... almost gave Sean's number out again, 618-759-7469, 618-759-7469. Coming back with top of the hour news. Right after this, it's 10 o'clock in downtown Alton.
As Madison County Clerk and Recorder, Debbie Ming Mendoza has maintained a proven record of integrity, accountability, and independence. Debbie has worked to ensure everyone is treated equally and fairly, regardless of their political affiliation. After the 2020 election, Debbie assumed administrative oversight of the Recorder's Office, most recently enacting a property fraud alert program to protect property owners. Debbie removed 80% of the recorder's budget from the general fund. This decision saved taxpayers crucial dollars and maintained a balanced budget. That's why I am voting for Debbie Ming Mendoza on November 8th.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out how our team can for you.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started a healthier new you.
You in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
I just got a new air conditioner, top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop at their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a and now, Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, the same great service you've come to expect.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, Bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com. Judge Ryan Jumper was recommended and highly rated in the most recent poll conducted by the Illinois State Bar Association. Ryan Jumper is a supporter of law enforcement and an advocate for the Constitution. Join me in voting for Judge Ryan Jumper on Tuesday, November 8th on the back of the ballot.
When it comes to the C-Force line of ATVs, there truly is a seat for every behind. Whether you want to get started with the easy-to-ride C-Force 400 or ride with the big boys on the C-Force 800 XC, you'll find the right machine for you and your wallet.
Oh, here we go. We're right back here, 10:05 on this 7th day of November. Let's take a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Roxana hosted the Prairie Central Hawks in the second round of the IHSA Class 3A football playoffs on Saturday on a brisk and windy afternoon. The Hawks won the game by a score of 41-20 to move on to the quarterfinals. And Prairie Central came up into this matchup undefeated and remains that way at 11-0. This game was also the first time Roxana had made it to the second round since 2014 and comes after a 2-7 season last year. Head coach Wade DeVries made sure the kids weren't hanging their heads too low post-game. The Shells wrap up what would be considered a successful 7-4 campaign. The loss against Prairie Central was their first at home this season. In Madison County, the state's attorney, Tom Hain, on Friday informed county board members the county will receive an estimated $3.7 million as its share of a settlement in a lawsuit against opiate distributors. The total amount will be received over a period of years throughout 2038. The first two installments to the county, totaling $243,000, were processed last week. Haynes was quoted as saying, "My office stands ready to assist the county board in working out a proper method to allocate these funds within Madison County to ensure that these initial opioid-related settlement funds and those that may be possibly coming in the future are efficiently and effectively allocated in the best way suited to alleviating the harms caused by the opioid epidemic." And the settlement was reached out on behalf of local governments across the country in litigation against three distributors of opioids, AmerisourceBergen, Cardinal Health, and McKinnison, and one manufacturer of opioids, Janssen. And in Chicago, the Powerball jackpot has officially set a new world record. Tonight's top prize now stands at a mind-blowing $1.9 billion. There has never been a jackpot this big, meaning tonight's draw is making history as the largest jackpot of all time. Although no one matched all six numbers drawn to win the historic jackpot on Saturday, 8 Illinois lottery players will be jumping for joy after winning 6 and 5-figure prizes. 3 lucky players matched for 4 numbers and then the Powerball. Plus, they added the game's Power Play feature to win $150,000 apiece. 5 players matched 4 numbers in the Powerball to win $50,000 apiece. Pardon me. Nearly $400,000 other prizes ranging from $150,000 to $4 were won in Saturday's Powerball drawing in Illinois. Every single Powerball win is also a win for retailers that sell these winning tickets, as the retailers receive a selling bonus of 1% of the prize amount. In the Powerball run this time began on August 4th. In that time, more than 1.6 million winning tickets have been sold and over $15 million in prizes have been won by Illinois players. Winners have 1 year from the date of the winning draw to which in which to claim the prize. The Illinois Lottery encourages all lucky winners to write their name on the back of their ticket and keep it in a safe place until they're ready to claim their prize. For Illinois residents who want to be a part of this historic draw, there are over 7,000 Illinois lottery retailers across the state, so lottery players can conveniently pick up a Powerball ticket at their local store, or they can log into the Illinois Lottery website or app and purchase a ticket online. Powerball drawings are held on every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 9:59 Central Standard Time in Alton. A beloved community member and former fire official, Mark Harris, was honored at a widely attended funeral event at Gent Funeral Home in Alton on Sunday afternoon. Visitation was from 1 to 3 p.m. Sunday at Gent Funeral Home in Alton in the chapel. The Gent Funeral Home is located at 2409 State Street in Alton. Funeral services immediately followed. A fire department walkthrough was conducted at 2:15 p.m. on Sunday, led by active and retired members of the Alton Fire Department with surrounding fire departments following in honor of Deputy Chief Harris. Harris was 61 when he died on Tuesday at Alton Memorial Hospital. He was married to his wife, Connie. A dedicated member of the Alton Fire Department, Mark began his career on April 17th of 1991 and quickly advanced through the ranks, becoming an engineer on January 4th of 1995. Mark advanced to the captain position on May 20th of the year 2000. He became assistant chief in 2005, deputy chief in 2009, and battalion chief on May the 26th of 2013. Deputy Chief Harris returned to his role as Deputy Chief again on September the 1st of 2013 and finally ended his career with the department on May 5th, 2018. And all of us here at RiverBender.com want to extend our condolences to the Harris family, a great, great man. In Edwardsville, senior Jake Sterney set the tone with a 74-yard run on the first play from scrimmage, and from there, Wilmot Loyola Academy scored all 5 of its first half possessions in building a 35-0 halftime lead going in on to win a 49-21 game over Edwardsville in the second round in the IHSA Class 8A football playoffs Saturday afternoon at Tiger Stadium. The Ramblers' offensive line helped out in setting the tone, using their size advantage to great effect against the Tigers and jumping out to their early lead. Edwardsville never gave up and kept plugging, being able to execute its offense better and score 3 times in the second half. The Tigers end their season 7-4, while the Ramblers are now 10-1 and will play a quarterfinal game against LaGrange Lions, a 24-13 winner over Plainfield North in a game played Friday night. The site, date, and time for that game will be announced at the IHSA office on Monday afternoon. In East St. Louis, the Illinois State Police is requesting the public's assistance in locating 36-year-old Jeremy Rickman of Maryville, Illinois. On August 26th of 2022, St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office charged Rickman of Maryville with first-degree murder and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Attempts to locate Rickman thus far have been unsuccessful. Rickman was charged with the murder and the death of 30-year-old Demond Stewart of Cahokia Heights, which occurred on August the 13th of this year in the parking lot of the Ivy Ultra Lounge in the 900th block of St. Louis Avenue in East St. Louis. Rickman also has an outstanding federal warrant for motion to revoke supervised release issued on August 30th of this year by the United States Attorney's Office. Do not approach Rickman, as he should be considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with knowledge of this incident or his whereabouts are asked to contact Crime Stoppers by phone or visit stlrcs.org. Witnesses can remain anonymous. St. Louis County Police Department Crimes Against Persons detectives are currently investigating a fatal roadway accident involving a pedestrian struck in the 1400th block of Kiefer Road near Ridge Road. That resulted in the death of an adult male. On November the 6th at 4:01 p.m. yesterday, St. Louis County police officers from the West County Precinct responded to a call for service for a railroad accident with a pedestrian struck in the 1400th block of Creek Road near Ridge Road. Responding officers located an adult man lying on the ground. The victim was pronounced deceased on the scene. This is an active and ongoing investigation. More information will be disseminated when it becomes available. Please contact the St. Louis County Police Department at 636-529-8210 to speak with investigators if you have any information regarding this incident. To remain anonymous or potentially receive a reward, please contact Crime Stoppers at 1-866-371-TIPS. That's 8477. Your weather forecast today, right now, around 55 degrees. A high today is 62, a low of 44 degrees. Right now, it says it's feeling like 60. I beg to differ. Precipitation, there ain't none. 0% chance of rain, 41% humidity, and wind is 12 miles an hour. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for that daily dose of local, your daily email update on RiverBender.com. It is 10:14 on the 7th day of November. We'll come right back with more of our daily show.
I started on the police force at age 18. From the ground up, I finally made captain because I was given a chance to work for it. Everyone deserves that same chance. I'm Chris Tharp, and I'm not your usual Democrat. I'm a workers' Democrat. And in the Senate, I'm focused on 2 things: keeping our community safe and creating an economy focused on helping the middle class. Being a union member myself, we will add more trade schools and job training programs, so everyone willing to work hard gets a chance at a good life.
Riverbender Radio has 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And the River, today's country. All your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
To be mad with anyone. It's not unusual to be sad with anyone. But if I ever find that you've changed at any time, it's not unusual to find that I'm in love with you.
1016 Heart of the Riverbend, Alderwoman Rosie Brown, founder of Socks for Tots LLC, has announced that her 7th annual Socks for Tots drive will begin in November through December of 2022. New socks only for children are requested. Ms. Brown, Alderwoman Brown, was quoted as saying, "It's time to replenish the socks inventory for our youth. My mission is to heat the feet of our school-age children. Last year, with the help of our community, I was able to provide over $3,500 in pairs of socks to schools, daycares, the Oasis Women's Center, the Boys and Girls Club, and Catholic Children's Home. My goal this year is to provide over $5,000 in pairs of socks. Let's really make an impact in lives of our children by collectively donating towards the initiative." Brown will be Boxes will be placed by Brown in several venues in our community, including the Alton Woods River Rotary Clubs, Alton Democratic Party, the YWCA, City Hall, Today's Beauty, Bluff City, and a plethora of others. Make sure that you guys stay tuned on RiverBender.com for updates on where to drop off socks. A great campaign from Alderwoman Brown, and I really hope that it does just as well as it did last year. I wanted to tell you guys this, too. Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville School of Pharmacy faculty and students assisted the Glened Pantry with food distribution and their monthly mobile market in Edwardsville, which takes place on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. These types of events are tremendous learning opportunities for our students to provide hands-on care to those who are underserved in our community, says Chris Lynch, who is a PharmD professor and director of clinical programs in the School of Pharmacy. The School of Pharmacy faculty and students also received free blood pressure checks, distributed free sample-size bottles of ibuprofen, and provided one-on-one counseling sessions as well. The monthly mobile market is a great way for the pantry to reach others in need in our community, said Amy Pose, who is the director of operations at Glened Pantry. Having the presence of the School of Pharmacy helped us reach out to even more people with valuable services to complement what the pantry provides. Opportunities such as, and that was all quoted from Amy Poos, opportunities such as this allow our students to provide hands-on patient care and helps them gain confidence in skills that they have developed as part of their program. Lynch, who is that director of clinical studies and services, was quoted as saying, "Today's pharmacies improve patients' lives through the medication and education they provide. The School of Pharmacy is dedicated to developing a community of caring pharmacists through a curriculum that is nationally recognized as a model for offering students a unique combination of classroom education, research, community care, and patient care as well. Areas of excellence include a drug design and discovery core, pediatric practice, chronic pain research and practice, and diabetes research and practice too." And I don't know how you guys feel about it. Call in, text me, 618-759-7469. I think it's a great thing. I think it's fantastic. And, you know, so many times, that's what really bummed me out about the the pandemic, was that, you know, we couldn't do these things. we just couldn't, and it was so depressing because there's so many great opportunities, just like this one, with the School of Pharmacy and the Glen Food Pantry, where it really just takes into account all these different aspects that we have right here in our community, right? I mean, listen, I hate to tell you guys this, and this isn't me being, coy or a jerk or, whatever the many names I was called during the Halloween broadcast, but this is just me being honest. I didn't, necessarily, because I knew I was going to be doing a new show. I knew I was going to have my own show. I didn't know where. And I had to take into account so many different things. Do we do a national show and try to get hooked up with Spotify and do the serious route, or do we do, something completely different? And when I started thinking about it, there are so many different avenues that really are so many avenues that are so easy to talk about and should be talked about and promoted without, writing this massive check. And it's things like that. And we're so many right here in our Riverbend community that I think we forget about. And I think the more we start talking about them and the more we start kind of highlighting them and promoting them, hopefully more people start to get out there and do them and really become just part of something bigger, and really just kind of get wrapped up in that community feel again, which I think we lost. And I think we lost it well before the pandemic. I think the pandemic just made us realize that maybe we weren't being as good as we said we were. And, I think it just highlighted everything. But I think that sense of community, in my humble opinion, feel free to tell me I'm wrong, 618-759-7469. That sense of community went away, and all the pandemic did was just brought it out. It didn't make it, it didn't just, cause us to start acting, this way and being more, into our own bubbles and everything. I think it just brought it out and made it more amplified. But I like to talk about these things in different programs, because the more we can talk about them and really get people to contribute to them, because I know that there's people that watch the show, and, with the replays and everything you guys do, and you hear about a lot of these things. And when I'm out in town and doing some of the events that I go to, you guys ask me about them. You guys want to know more information. Well, the best way to learn more information is, please listen to the show and learn about them, but also share their Facebook posts. Okay, it's not hard. That's the one thing that just bugs me. It's like so many people will come out in this town and say, there's nothing going on. There is. Share the post. It's free. That button where it says share, it's a free button. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's literally free. All you got to do is hit that button. It says share, and it's boom, it's done. What bugs me is when individuals go, oh, there's just not a lot of community support, and people don't just, they just don't want to go out to these things. Well, they do, but you got to put in the work and share them and do all the things that matter. And so that's why, I always encourage you guys that watch on the website or watch the replay to still share it. Get the word out for me and help us out and help everyone out in the community that really comes on the show to promote, because the more we help each other, the better everything gets. Promise you, it's the truth. Wanted to share this a little bit of I wouldn't say breaking news, but something that just came out from St. Louis just under an hour ago. The Drug Enforcement Administration in St. Louis, that division, broke its fentanyl seizure record, in the fiscal year 2022, with more than 671 pounds of the deadly opiate seized throughout Kansas, Missouri, and southern Illinois. The 41% increase over 396 pounds seized in the last fiscal year, and more fentanyl seized than the last 2 years combined. And among the seizures, was a record 20,000 fake pills. Sorry, I'm reading as I'm going along here. Fake pills seized in a partnership with the St. Louis County Police Department, and the first colored fake pills DEA has seized. The latter was seized in Kansas. The colored fentanyl has also been seized in powder form throughout the division, the increase of 41%. And fentanyl seizures aligns with the continued increase since the synthetic opioid was first seized by the division in 2017. I'm going to break this down for you by the number. In 2018, that fiscal year, 77 pounds of fentanyl was discovered. In 2019, 227 pounds of fentanyl was seized. And in 2020, a little bit of a dip, 180 pounds seized. In 2021, it jumped to 396 pounds of fentanyl seized, and in 2022, 671 pounds of fentanyl seized in the St. Louis division. And, that's just heartbreaking. I mean, it really is. And the DEA in St. Louis has also released a graph that shows just the trends, and it's really damning to look at, guys. I mean, it really is. And Michael Davis is the special agent in charge, and he was quoted as saying, looking at the staggering increase in seizures, there is no question that the DEA and its local, state, and federal partners have stepped up their efforts to stop fentanyl from reaching our communities. That was stated by Michael Davis, special agent in charge. Unfortunately, the drugs pouring into the Midwest in multiple forms is also a sign that drug trafficking organizations will take any length to profit from the misery of our citizens. We'll continue to take down these criminal networks and put out the message that they are selling, what they are selling kills. That was again stated by Special Agent in Charge Michael Davis. In addition, agents and task force officers seized 3,200 pounds of methamphetamine, 57 pounds of heroin, and investigators also seized 503 weapons, topping off the St. Louis Division statistics for 2022, where its efforts to curtail money laundering by drug trafficking organizations, seizing and stopping $13.7 million from reaching criminal organization leaders. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid, is used for pain management in a medical setting and is 50 times more potent than heroin. Drug cartels have been attempting to distribute illicit fentanyl in record amounts, leading to an alarming increase in deaths by drugs. And you can check out all the fentanyl seizures in the division, the St. Louis division. That's provided in a link that's on RiverBender.com. But, this is something that really is staggering because this affects us too. The St. Louis division does incorporate some of Southern Illinois, and it's just mind-boggling to me. I mean, it really is. And, I'm not going to go on my opioid, soapbox today. If you guys want to call in and talk about this, 618-759-7469, I'll give you the floor and just see what you guys have to think about it. But this is troubling. I mean, it really is. And, I think it's great that, we got $13.7 million back or seized $13.7 million. But let's be real. That's a drop in the hat, for a lot of these cartels. It's just a drop in the bucket. That's nothing to them. And the fact that it keeps getting worse and worse is just alarming. So, with all this going on, that's why I really am curious to see how the election shapes up tomorrow because, there's so many times, and especially now with social media and everybody's in your business, I think that there's a growing consensus that there is there are a lot of people in this country. I'm not going to, use the term silent majority, but there's a lot of people that keep who they're voting for, what their beliefs are tucked away in their pocket. I do. I really do. And so I'm really curious to see, and you guys can tell that because I've had on politicians from, every side of the aisle that wants to come on. Everyone got an invitation and to come on and promote their campaign. Everyone did. And, extended that out for weeks and wanted to make sure we could get their take on it. But there's so many people, like me, I think that don't want to put their political affiliation out there or say who they stand for because to be honest with you, I guarantee you a lot of people out there support people on both sides and like people on both sides. So I'm really interested to see what the uptick in the opioid numbers, the way the drugs are kind of just increasing throughout the country, and so many other crimes on the rise. It's kind of interesting with all these kind of scary news stories getting thrown at us. What the voters will do, what you guys will decide, what we will decide tomorrow is really going to be really just fascinating to watch. That's why I'm so glad tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Please tune in to your primetime coverage of the 2022 midterms. It's election night in the Riverbend. I'll be joined by Dan Herkert, who has been a part of campaigns at every level, and former Madison County Auditor Rick Fasten will be joining us with his commentary and phone calls with local representatives, state senators, whoever wins. They have a chance to call in. They can take it and let us know how they're feeling for us down here. But, That's why I'm really glad. I can just sit back tomorrow. I'm going to host the primetime coverage, and I'll be able just to listen and see what some of the insight is. And you guys are more than welcome to utilize the text line, 618-759-7469. Please do so. And really just become part of the conversation. So tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m., we'll be probably talking about just this same news story and many others across the country the last couple of years to see maybe if those are the reason that numbers leaned the way they leaned this time around. We'll find out at 7:30 tomorrow night. Wanted to make sure that I got that information out to you as much as I could today because primetime coverage of the midterms in the Riverbend start at 7:30, and I hope that you guys all tune in. It's going to be a really, really great show, and I'm really, really proud of it. And a lot of work being put into it right now. But while I have you, too, while we're still talking about some of the things happening in the Riverbend, I wanted to tell you about Lewis and Clark Community College's e-waste drive in conjunction with CJD e-cycling. This event is being held on Saturday, November the 5th, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 p.m., the Lewis and Clark parking lot at Godfrey Road and Tully Lane across from the Dairy Queen is the designated collection site for the drive, recycling anything with a cord and anything metal. Bring us your servers, switches, PC towers, printers, and other technological equipment. They also accept landlines, phones, cable boxes, cell phones, wireless modems. Do they still take the dial-up ones? Servers, audio and video equipment, cables, holiday lights, home electronics, printers, additional telecommunication items, and lead-acid batteries. All types of televisions, along with computer monitors, dehumidifiers, and refrigerators will be accepted with the charge from $5 to $35, depending on the size. Be advised, poor weather conditions may cancel the event. Should the event be canceled, the rescheduled date will be posted on the CJD e-cycling Facebook page. For more information, you can contact the Lewis and Clark Director of Sustainability, Nate Keener, at 618-468-2782, or you can email him at nkeener@lc.edu. You may also visit cjdecycling.com for a full list of drop-off locations. And the project is undertaken in connection with the settlement of enforcement action taken by the Illinois Attorney General and the Illinois EPA for alleged violations for the Illinois Environmental Protection Act and regulation promulgated thereunder. And I think it's great. So if you have anything, by the way, that was a mouthful, so thank you. That took a lot out of me. That was probably all the energy I had left in me for today. But that's a great thing, too. You know, I like sharing things like this with you guys because so many times you go into grandma's house and there's an old computer monitor, there's something old that's electronical that you're too scared to plug into the wall because you're scared it's going to blow up on you. Guilty. Do it all the time. And you guys could really take all this stuff out there, really clean up some stuff, do some fall cleaning, get ahead of it before April comes around. That way it's all done. You can just go vacuum a little bit, use some heavy dusting, you know, take the shades down, whatever you do for spring cleaning. But then you don't have to worry about the electronics. Done. There you go. Lewis and Clark will be the place to go. And really looking forward to that. Oh, man, it has been a morning for me. I hope your guys' mornings are going just as well as I am. SIUE has awarded water quality control operations and scholarship opportunities available to all of you. SIUE and the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District, that's called MSD, have awarded 3 SIUE students scholarships for the Water Quality Control Operations Program at the Environmental Resource Training Center at SIUE. The student recipients include Carly Mackey of Hillsboro, Donovan Simpson of O'Fallon, and Jordan Williams of St. Louis. This is a great opportunity to get into a meaningful career and lessen the financial burden of earning my degree, said Simpson. Thanks to the scholarship, I don't have to pick up a part-time job, and I can solely focus on my schoolwork. This scholarship and the program are helping me get my water and wastewater certification, said Mackey. I'd like to work my way up to being some kind of supervisor role at a plant one day, and this opportunity will help me do just that. The MSD ERTC scholarship was created to encourage minorities and females to consider a career in the wastewater field where there is a need for operators in the industry. Students will be a part of ERTC's one-year water control operations program, leading to a potential future internship opportunity. The training will prepare students to become a certified wastewater operator in both Illinois and Missouri, setting the students up for a position in the wastewater industry upon graduation. And really just a great thing. Congratulations to those students who were, able to secure those scholarships. And what a great thing. I've always said, and especially the last couple of years, people are starting to jump on my bandwagon. Go to trade school. There is nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of great paying jobs. You don't have to go find a white-collar job or industry to be a part of. There are so many opportunities, especially right here in our own backyard. And really just a lot of great opportunities and great work and benefits. It's 10:35 on the 7th day of November. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more of our daily show. Mountain lions are on the move through Illinois, but are they here to stay? We'll find out after this.
If you like to get out and go with a friend riding shotgun, the Z-Force line of sports side-by-sides are the perfect machines for you. Whether exploring the backcountry or racing down trails, these beasts flat out give you more without having to pay for more. Life's too short to stay home.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagle's Discount Carpet. Eagle has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagle's, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Lennox products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling. Start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Ming Mendoza has worked for 10 years to ensure and maintain the reputation of Madison County's election process as highest in the state. Debbie was able to reduce costs by eliminating electronic voting and implementing an efficient paper-based process. Debbie has proven that Madison County continues to have elections that are free and fair. Join me in voting for Debbie Ming Mendoza for Madison County Clerk and Recorder on November 8th.
.38, we're right back here. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show on RiverBender.com or on RiverBender Radio, the Facebook page. Make sure you're signing up for it all. Looking forward to having you guys on and discussing anything and everything on your mind. If it's something that's bad, you don't like me, want to yell at me, you can do it. I'm telling you, we don't screen callers or texts. I've read them before. Trust me, I've gotten in trouble quite a few times. Anyway, mountain lions have been on the move. Man, I cracked myself up. Let's see here. Mountain lions have been on the move this fall, with 2 confirmed sightings of animals in northern and central Illinois, and 1 in my aunt's backyard. No, I'm just kidding. Large predators occasionally pass through Illinois, but they are not here to stay. The Illinois Department of Natural Resources reported on October the 17th that a mountain lion, also known as cougars, had been struck and killed by a vehicle on I-88 in DeKalb County. Another young male lion was tranquilized by the IDNR on October 28th on the western edge of Springfield and relocated to a sanctuary in Indiana. Officials had been tracking its movement through a GPS collar that was attached last fall by researchers. In Nebraska, mountain lions are protected, and it's unlawful to hunt, kill, or harass them unless they pose an imminent threat to a person or property, which is rare. Black bears, wolves, cougars are rare, but not unheard of in Illinois. These large predators were extirpated from Illinois in the late 1800s as natural habitats changed and white-tailed deer were hunted nearly to extinction. In the Midwest, the big cats have regularly reappeared over the past few decades, with many sightings coming from the increased public use of trail cameras. These animals periodically wander into our state, which is exciting, but most of Illinois does not have the habitat to support populations, so they will continue to move on, said Peggy Dottie, who's the University of Illinois Extension Natural Resources, Environmental, and Energy educator. Dottie recently led a program available at go.illinois.edu about the return of apex predators, exploring behaviors, ranges, and identification. Mountain lions, are also known as cougars and pumas, were historically found across North America, but are now primarily in the western states. Young male lions wander large distances as they look for a forested territory of their own. Their minimum home range is about 70 square miles. DNA testing of cougars previously found in Illinois shown that they were originally from the Black Hills in South Dakota. Apex predators are crucial to maintaining the overall health of natural systems, Dottie says. Illinois now has the large population of white-tailed deer due to lack of predators. While predators are an important part of the ecosystem, and research from the Illinois Natural History Survey shows people in Illinois have a neutral stance on their recolonization, Dottie says. There are no plans to reintroduce them into the state. Illinois does not have sufficient habitat to support stable populations of these large predators. Southern Illinois has the most contiguous forest in the state, but still could not support many lions, says Joy O'Keefe, who is the University of Illinois Natural Research and Environmental Sciences Assistant and Extension Wildlife Specialist. To coexist with large cats and other predators is a matter of tolerating them during the periods when they visit our state. We need to learn how to live with them during the periods when they move through, adopting anti-predator behavior such as keeping pets and children indoors or under supervision. I would say so. If locations where the animals are seen, the public can report wildlife sightings at wildlifeillinois.org/sightings. More information about mountain lions is available on the wildlife website too. But you know what? I'm glad this story came out. I got one for you guys. I don't even know how long this has been going on, okay? But there's something back in the woods behind Northside Park in those woods. There's something right over there. Let me tell you something, okay? I was sitting out on the back patio at my aunt's house. It had to have been 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, because I was just sitting over there talking. And she went inside. My cousin went inside. I'm out there by myself. And all of a sudden, I hear a couple of branches breaking, okay? And I don't think anything of it. I think maybe it's a deer, squirrel, rabbit, raccoon, who you name it, person, because, there's a couple of bars right over there. So I thought, it could be somebody just stumbling through, not knowing where they are. Well, guess what? I pick my head up from my phone, and I do this. This head on this animal had to have been this big. And I mean at least this big. It was much bigger than my head. Two big yellow eyes staring back at me. And all I could see was just this dark figure. I don't know what color it was. It was so dark outside that it just looked, black. But I still think that's a black bear. Because then all of a sudden, the next day, there were like 7 or 8 deer that were sprinting out of the woods in unison because something was scaring them off. I am telling you what, as God is my witness here on this show at 10:44 and only 16 minutes left of my broadcast day, there is something back there, okay? Now, I haven't seen it for a while. I haven't. It's been a couple of months, but we're talking like literally August, July. In that time period, there was something back there. And I'm telling you, I think it was a bear. They still didn't catch that one. I've still waited for a follow-up for that bear they found like a year or two ago over in Godfrey, over there in the La Vista Trail, that bear sighting. I'm still waiting for confirmation on that. I still think it's wandering around here. And I might be half joking about this, but when you saw the head that I saw that night and those big yellow eyes, let me just tell you something. You have never seen me run as fast as in my life. I sprinted up those stairs, through that patio, back into the house, and I was in and tucked in, and I had almost wanted to lock the doors. I'm telling you, there is something going on back there in the woods. But don't know if you guys have had any weird stories like that. If you are watching on the replay later on, or you're watching now, let me know if you've had any big shaboozis with the animals or anything like that. Mine, I still think it's a bear. I am just dead positive that this is a bear. Anyway, while I have you, I wanted to tell you about an event coming up on the 13th of November at 3 p.m. The Great Rivers Choral Society presents To Life and Liberty at Godfrey First United Methodist Church. It's free to the public, but a free will offering will be taken at intermission. It'll be at Godfrey First United Methodist at 1100 Airport Road in Godfrey, and it'll be November 11th and the 13th at 7 p.m. It'll be November 11th at 7 p.m. at the Bridge Church. November 11th at 7 p.m., the Bridge Church, 504 East 12th Street in Alton. And it will be on the 13th at 3 p.m. at Godfrey First United Methodist Church at 1100 Airport Road in Godfrey. You can join their first concert of the 2022 and 2023 season. This free concert is open to the public, but again, a goodwill offering will be taken during the concert. For more information, just go over to grcssing.org. That's grcssing.org for more information. And that, once again, is the Great Rivers Choral Society presents To Life and Liberty. And it's going to be a heck of a show. Those guys do great work, and they're starting off their concert season. Want to make sure you guys all go out and check it out because it's going to be fantastic, and really encourage you all to do so. And you know what's crazy too? There's just so much stuff. I was telling John Hendrick this the other day after one of our meetings, and before, one of the meetings that didn't result in me getting terminated or written up. But I was telling him it's just so weird because it seems like, in the middle of October, all is calm in the world. It's all okay. There's not really a lot of, craziness going on. You got trunk or treats and a lot of smaller events. But it seems like right when you hit November, it's like, and especially this year, I mean, the election just thrown me off. And, I'm not trying to complain, but I think that, I was here, and I'm not going to take credit for this one just because sometimes he listens to the show. Josh Gilbert over in St. Louis on the air was saying, we should get like a 2-year grace period before any more elections take place after what we just went through. Here, let's just start over in a couple of years. We'll just do all new ones. Anyway, what was I even talking about? But with the elections going on, and all of this craziness and all the commotion, it's like, man, we're in the first week of November, but darn, we're right there. It's election day tomorrow, and then all of a sudden it's Veterans Day, and then you're going right into Thanksgiving, and then you got Christmas and then New Year's. I mean, it's all going right back to back. And you can fall through the cracks when it comes to staying up to date on things happening around the community. It happens. I mean, you're in the thick of the holiday rush. You're starting to get the kids' Christmas together. You're getting them out to, the tree lightings, and you're getting them out to Thanksgiving. Then you got to vote tomorrow. And please vote, because local elections matter more than the national ones. I'm sorry, they do. The bills that are passed, all the things that you're going to be voting for, your values are going to be reflected immediately after certain votes right here in your own backyard, because voting local really is the most important. National stuff might trickle down eventually, but this stuff has a direct impact on how our lives are. So please vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but just vote in general. And the voter numbers around here, especially when it's not a midterm, if it's just a regular election in the city, or even in different avenues, the voter turnout is so low it's actually scary. go out and vote. It only takes 10 minutes, and go vote. I mean, even if you don't like any of the candidates, well, at least still, write yourself in or something. Just exhibit your right to do so. Anyway, with all this craziness going on, and it's just like one thing after the other, it's so hard to prepare for all this stuff. And especially because, we're still learning and we're still getting things together, and we're trying to figure out how everything's going to work all together in the end. But, there's so many times where it's like, man, it's good. You get a second to breathe. Okay. That's it. And then you're back into work. So it's going to be a very busy couple of days for us over here. And make sure on Friday that you guys come hang out with us as we celebrate our local veterans at the Alton VFW. We'll have more information for you tomorrow morning for our daily show at 10:50. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back after this in the heart of the Riverbend.
I'm Ebony Huddleston, and I'm asking for your vote on November 8th for Madison County Circuit Court Judge. After graduating as valedictorian of Alton High School, receiving the Alton Godfrey Rotary Club's first Student of the Year Award, I continue to serve this community on boards of directors such as Alton Memorial Hospital, Lincoln Legal Aid, and Impact CIL. For almost 17 years as an attorney in Madison County, I've worked tirelessly to ensure that all voices are heard. Everyone has a fair chance in our legal system. Because I believe that our legal system should be fair and just for everyone, I will work to make that a reality when elected judge. Please vote for me on November 8th.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you. The Riverbend, The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station, The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend, and The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Not sure if you've noticed, the advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Robert's, the advertised pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Judge Jumper was recommended and highly rated in the most recent poll conducted by the Illinois State Bar Association. Ryan Jumper is a supporter of law enforcement and an advocate for the Constitution. Join me in voting for Judge Ryan Jumper on Tuesday, November 8th on the back of the ballot.
$10:52, time to highlight some very stupid people on this installment of the All-Star Award. An Iowa man collapsed 1,140 times in 1 minute, earning him a world record. Wow, that's pretty stupid. An Iowa man broke a Guinness World Record by clapping his hands 1,140 times in 1 minute. Dalton Meyer of Davenport said his interest in clapping speed began when he was in elementary school and saw a YouTube video of Kent French, who was known as the world's fastest clapper. Meyer said his record attempt used the wrist clapping technique developed by previous Guinness World Record holder Eli Bishop, who managed to clap 1,103 times in 1 minute. No, thank you. Wrist clapping is a technique that involves using the wrist and fingers to slap the palm of the other hand. Meyer worked with the Charm Media Group in Illinois to make sure his official attempt was properly filmed in both real time and slow motion, as well as recorded with the proper audio to ensure each of his 19 claps per second could be properly counted by the Guinness World Records. What an idiot. What about this? A JCPenney store, one of the few that are left at a Pennsylvania mall, was closed temporarily when a deer wandered into the store and made its way into a dressing room. Employees at the Qdoba restaurant at the Park Center City Mall in Lancaster said the deer entered the mall through a door near the eatery and ran into the nearby JCPenney store. Witnesses said the deer wandered through the store and ended up in a dressing room. How do deer make their way into a store like this? Pennsylvania Game Commission was contacted and personnel responded to escort the deer back outdoors. And the store remained closed that afternoon. A woman had to call a reptile wrangler. She summoned him to her Australian home where a resident she discovered the cause of a moving microwave. Uh-oh, it was... Why is my microwave moving? Oh, it's 2 mating pythons. There you go. A video posted to Facebook shows Stuart McKenzie of Sunshine Coast Snake Catchers responding to a home in Birdram where a woman discovered 2 carpet pythons in the throes of passion in her kitchen. That's nasty. The snake catching business said the woman noticed her microwave had moved and looked behind it to find a pair of mating snakes. Why did my microwave move? Well, let me tell you why. They were quoted, they were able to quickly relocate the 2 love birds? Bad joke. And back out into the bush where they belong, the post said. That is incredible. And 2 other really interesting stories that I wanted to share with you guys today. Bakers in Mexico teamed up to create 20,689 loaves of bread and assemble them in the world's largest bread mosaic, measuring 222 square feet. Let me read that for you again, all 2s, and this ain't a law commercial, measuring 2,222 square feet. Guinness World Records said its team of 5 bakers in Puebla worked together to break the record for the world's largest bread mosaic for Dia de los Muertos, the Mexican Day of the Dead. The mosaic was an image of La Catrina, a traditional skeleton figure, I apologize if I mispronounced it, associated with the holiday. Guinness said it took bakers 2 weeks to bake all the bread involved in that record. Do you know how much flour that's got to be? I mean, anyone got any flour stock or anything like that going on? I'm telling you, we'd been in business. Wanted to share this story too. This was an interesting one. Animal rescuers and firefighters in Virginia came to the rescue of a dog that fell down a 50-foot embankment along the James River. Richmond Animal Care and Control said in a Facebook post that the goofy Malamute was found stranded next to the water at the bottom of a 50-foot embankment next to a river in Richmond. The RACC, I had a little bit of dyslexia there. I'm in trouble today. I got a lot to do. Contacted the Richmond Fire Department for assistance, and crews used the small boat to reach the dog. The dog was not injured and was taken back to the RACC and was later reunited with his owner, so a good story to follow up on that one. Love when everything ends and we can all smile because, you know, there's so many times I read a story and I'm just hoping for a happy ending. Don't know how you guys feel on it, but you know, sometimes you're hoping for a happy ending, and then all of a sudden, you know, it just doesn't happen, you know, and you're like kind of scratching your head and wondering why they just couldn't give you the light at the end of the tunnel. And, you know, one last story that I wanted to share with you, 10:58, we only got a couple of minutes left. The Light the Way to Recovery to End Stigma, an event focused on spreading awareness for mental health struggles in the Greene County community, will be held at the Carrollton Courthouse at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, November 17th. A live acoustic guitar performance from the Spalding McIntosh will kick off the event, which will also feature the lighting of luminary lanterns. Molly Peters, public health administrator with Greene County Health Department, said this is the first year that the event has been held, making it the first ever event related to recovery in the Greene County community. The purpose is to bring awareness to the fact that there are many people that have experienced stigma and sharing their recovery stories, whether it be about anxiety, depression, substance use. There's so many people affected, families, friends, and individuals, and we really want to show the impact it has had on our Greene County community. We want to make sure that people get out and share that they feel value, that they value mental health. In general, she added that this event is free to the public, but still very valuable. Anyone is free to come join and come to the courthouse and basically just be present for this new event that we think is very valuable to the community. She was quoted as saying, and really just a a great event. We want to make sure you guys show out to that one on the 17th, and it's going to turn me away here for a second, but that's okay because I just got to tell you goodbye. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. We're going to have a great show tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning with a lot of guests, and then tomorrow night, it's election night in the Riverbend, so join me then at 7:30, and on that note, have a great day and try your best to stay out of jail.